Astralis Vitality will continue right now. We're going to be doing it with Henry G and The Machine.
A prefix I hate, but a game I love. Vitality versus Astralis. We have got ourselves predictions for 2-0. Hank, I imagine you're feeling similar vibes?
Yeah, I echo those sentiments, I think. It's going to be a T-star for Astralis, but Chad's right. They wouldn't pick this unless they were feeling confident on it. It's been a bit of a staple for theirs for some time now, as we'll see dupreeh challenge towards the B steps, and there's aggression from middle, and it's going to be an absolute disaster there. It's going to be ZywOo and Shox taken away from the round at the very start, trying to probe towards middle. They do a little bit of damage towards Device, but RPK doing a lot more here. Yeah. He gets him back in the round, and so does Apex. Bomb dropped here. They've got an entrance point.
And with the bomb on Jenny's, Apex has chosen to push up. He wants to make this fight really awkward. If they choose to double peek, one of them's low. It's not a viable strategy. Instead, they wait for Zipex. He arrives, jump peeking, trying to draw the crosshair, but dupreeh beheaded. A second, perhaps, opportunity. Device does find Alex with that low HP. 3 frags to Device's name in this pistol. Started in middle, but looks like it could finish on B. Apex, he knows he wants to finish off that low HP player, and one bullet wasn't enough with just 1 HP. Device, his heart's still beating. Fight from Zipex as well. He can't finish it, and Device, how does he get away with that? 4 kills in the round and 1 single point of health remaining.
There was certainly an option to grab the bomb and hightail it towards B, but Zipex, he didn't want to leave a man behind there. That's a good teammate. He's making sure Device survives that round. They guarantee the victory by painting Apex into a corner there. Some great shots landing from Apex. He had a great performance on overpass, but not quite enough. A decent effort considering they lost those first 2 kills at the very start. Now, will we see the force buy in the second round? It doesn't look like we will, to be honest with you. If we take a look back at the finishing shot there from Device, clean as you like, and it is going to be a pretty much full eco now for Vitality. 1P to 50, nothing else purchased, means they're going to be focusing on round number 3 here, so pretty much a foregone conclusion that Astralis were picking this one up with 3 MAC-10s, a UMP, and a Krieg to boot.
3 MAC-10s, 4 SMGs total. That's pretty much a guarantee that Astralis are going to start building quite the bank on this T side early. Oof. Boost from Vitality and a little bit of nade damage does seem to be enough to dissuade them. A couple of shots from Zipex makes them hunt, but it will be a 4-man push towards this SMG. There is, however, the support. Device is there, and oh my goodness, Zipex thought he got caught out. His back was turned, but the USP couldn't quite find the head.
Well, there it is. That's going to be round. Alex left in a 5 versus 1. Astralis, pretty standard. Go towards A. It's a 5-man unit. They might give away 1 frag here. Doesn't look like, though. Alex now down to 34 as he'll tuck himself in the corner. Nice little spot. Not going to work out for him, though, as dupreeh will jump around the corner, face checks it, and it will be a clean sweep for Astralis, meaning they have 4 SMGs going into this first gun round. Now, we talked about it in detail before. The fact that Vitality buy into this round, it's still compromised. They won't have the AWP. Some players will help you without helmets as well. You can see Alex and Apex. They will be suffering that fate going forward here in round number 3. The MAC-10s are going to be incredibly potent going forward now. Is Astralis just going to drop a very fast A play again? That's pretty much standard these days on Vertigo. Time will tell. Maybe they just want to go for a straight-up B rush. We'll see.
It's up mid, and it's fast. Molotov towards the toolboxes. A flash does tuck Shox in. He can't drop in aggressively. He can still hold this line, though. Second flash avoided. He has to be precise. Quite the opposite. Just body shots. And 2 frags already to the good for Astralis.
Good grenade as well. That's going to be RPK down to 56. Astralis known for their efficiency with HE grenades, and you really see it coming to full effect there. It's going to be Mages just showing some presence towards middle, jumping, making some noise, firing some shots as his teammates coordinate themselves towards the A bomb site now. It's going to be Device joining them at the end. Glaive already picked up a kill, but down to 7 points of health. You can just watch the flanks. We'll see the Molotov deployed towards the short position now. Just to flush out anyone close range. And off that Molotov, Zipex can progress towards the bomb site. He's got the Krieg in hand. Needs to be very careful. He can't give that one up. But it looks like this bomb site might be wide open. Just ZywOo here. He's being overwhelmed. He does pull one back. Smoked out, but maybe he's got a chance.
Yeah, that smoke does enable him to at least try and throw some bullets in the right direction. But the molly, good enough. Spread deep. Can't get back. And Device not only doing it with the Molotov, but the bullets as well. Apex shut down towards that sniper's roost. And RPK is just going to be scarpering to try and maintain that M4 and Kevlar, but Magiski's already on the scene and ready to shut him down, knife in hand, completely unawares. The tank falls, and the first 3 are secured by Astralis again. These pistols and conversions, Hank, they're stacking up.
Yeah, that's 3 to 3 now. It's a good point. So we'll see Astralis have a pretty clean run in round number 4 at this point. That's such a massive round to win. That's what you'd call a bonus victory in the modern game at this point. We used to have a term for that when the money would be reset. But at this point, if you keep the SMGs up when you know it's going to be the first gun round and you win this, it's absolutely massive. You've not only wrecked the finances of your opposition, but your money's just swelling out of control. You've upgraded those SMGs for some rifles now. A couple of CTM4s thrown into the mix. You see they're all hovering around $5,000 as a 99 damage from 2 grenades comes through. Major somehow survives that one. They'll have no idea they did that much damage, so he is so lucky to be alive at this point.
That's 2 members of Astralis in 4 rounds that have had 1 HP and survived.
Yep, that's insane.
Let's watch Magic. Oh,
Hi.
well, hello there, and goodbye.
They can win this. Looking good. Major's still
kill.
up.
And let's not forget that one of the players has only got 1 point of health. This is essentially a 5 versus 2.1.
That's it. Let's see whether they can edge their way back into the round. It's Alex just trying to get a bit of intel. He can see got Zywoo right on his person now. We'll see whether Device will be able to flush out any close range CT players. Incendiary or Molotov in response. Trying to buy some time here. Vitality have plenty of manpower towards the A side. Most importantly, Alex towards the sandbags. Doesn't look like going to check this position. It might be round over already.
Yeah, it's unchecked, at least for now. And Dupree, first one to go down. It's body shots to the spine. Magis, 1 HP, even gets a frag. Similar to that of his teammate, but I feel like there's just too much damage echoing in this round. And yeah, confirmed, great shot from Shox. Just onto Magisk, and he still stands his ground. 2 kills with the lowest HP you can have, but it will still be the Vitality first.
Well, there it is. Astralis leaving a few holes in the defense there as they're waiting for the pistols to push through. Shoxy somehow getting up the ladder, managing to get the shot in the back there, and it all kind of falls apart very quickly indeed as we'll see ourselves get into round number 5. Here's Mages trying to avoid these grenades, but they land right in his pocket. They're down to 1 HP. Here's the opening frag from Shoxy that really got them into the round. You can see Astralis didn't even consider the fact that sandbags could be under Alex's control. So it will be 3-1. Vitality right back in this now, but a full buy, of course, for Astralis and a decent HE at the start. This time making sure ladder is covered. Dupree has cleared that one out as they go towards middle now.
You talked about that dream of converting the bonus round. Well, Vitality winning that.
Yeah,
it's a dream right back.
Yep.
Dream wars here in Katowice. Apex with some very early aggression towards those B stairs locks them out. Astralis, there is absolutely no room at the inn. Head to the stable. Not sure why I'm getting biblical with them, but still 5 hearts beating on either side. Bomb loose. They plan to take their time here, Astralis, poking and prodding and catching some nades as well in the process.
So mid-control obtained. They've dropped the smoke to deny vision, as you can see from Shox's point of view, but it's still a very effective booster. It's commonly pre-fired. Xyp9x more than aware that this is a boost that could be possible. You can see him just taking his crosshair up there. Doesn't want to spam just yet, but he probably will eventually. Time will tell. Does he just walk up cleanly? Oh, that's really not gone well. He'll get away with it and does significant damage towards Xyp9x, but he couldn't have jumped at a worse time.
Oh. It's one of those ones it's so hard to watch with X-Ray on, of course, from his POV. Just curse by the clock. Timing did not favor him there. First frag does, however, favor Astralis, and they continue to make things even more promising. And Alex, nearly 3. They're low as well. He's single-handedly keeping this site safe. The rotate can come in. Device, low. Xyp9x, similar. Bomb loose on the site. They have to commit to this eventually with only 18 seconds as well. This could very well turn around on Device's AWP. He's holding firm and holding strong. 2 kills. And Shox from behind. It's only going to be a couple of seconds before Astralis piece this one together and say nothing elevator. Check your flank, because Xyp9x will be the first to do so. Falls. A second, perhaps possible. Device, should he miss this shot, he's edging away into the crosshairs, and Shox beheads another. 1 more to find, but it's Magisk who's gone for quite the adventure. Caught and fragged. Gosh, if that wasn't just a little bit tidier from Magisk, Shox would have had enough time.
Absolutely. Great effort there from Shox. He said historically he's known for his clutch ability. Haven't seen it too much in the Vitality jersey, but that was a great effort there. 2 low HP players taken out of the equation there. Device, a very impressive shot towards the sandbags, but still, Majors outpositioned and flanks him towards the scaffold position. There was a slight opportunity there for Shox to get the 90-degree turn in and managed to take his head off. There was a second, but unfortunately couldn't convert it, and they will give the round up. Remember, though, they did win an eco before the Desert Eagles, and so they do have cash available to them, but it's going to be compromised, of course. They're going to have MP9s, UMPs, but there is an AWP for Zywoo. He's 1-5 right now, Alex. We'll have a look from the shot from Device there.
Yeah, Device jumped over Alex's spray transfer to him. He was so low. It's actually very impressive that Device, I think that bit of movement may very well have won the round for Astralis because he continued to pick up that frag and keep Shox busy on sandbag. But we're into it. It's number 6 of our second map, second series of our second day. Make a wish or something. Smoke down towards the ramp, and it doesn't look like it's going to deter Zipex straight up the scaff. No early contest from the CTs just yet. Vitality, it's a very different look from what Chad was talking about in that CT aggression. You never mind, it's time for me to eat my words. Alex is on the warpath with this SMG.
Just going to tuck himself in the corner. He baited off the ARAM player at the top. That's going to be Zywoo when he's got the AWP here. So he's going to want to fire off some shots and show presence and hopefully set up his teammate here as Alex still wants to continue with this one. He's going to be taken down almost certainly. Gets away with it initially, and that could actually tempt Zipex to swing on this. And he doesn't know the AWP trying the corner. Flashbang's effective, but so are the shots from RPK. Looking for the double, not going to connect, but Apex will.
That's bomb. That's a big chance. CT's starting to scurry away, reposition. They have the numbers advantage. They aren't going to contest the bomb. That likely makes sense, given they have no info on how Astralis are grouped or coordinated at this point in time.
That was nice work from RPK, one of the few rifles available. Manages to sabotage the offense towards B. It's a nice effort there with a flashbang. Shoxy just setting up Apex nicely. Could have got out of that, to be honest with you, but still, he sets them up. They still have a 3-on-2 advantage. Apex will set up Shoxy for a chance here with the 1-dig, but unfortunately doesn't connect straight away. Now the Molotov and smoke. He'll have to wait as his teammate's actually flanking from the B step. That's going to be Alex.
He's got a real chance here. Device, however, finding his double kill. That's the flank from Alex. It's connecting, and it's doing more than enough. Maybe not. It's Zipex. Another clutch added to the tally. Zywoo had his signature weapon, and he couldn't get off the starting mark.
Yeah, he's struggling out there. He's 1 in 6 right now. Zywoo, you would expect him to just hit that shot, no problem at all. We didn't see it from his POV. Could have been awkward for him. It didn't look like an ideal situation, but still, all the aggro taken away towards those B steps, and it's going to be Zipex, the clutch minister, as you referenced earlier. Yeah, he definitely should be in now, right? He's not flashed. The smoke's not averting his gaze at all. That was on a plate for him. He's having a rough time out there.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't much prettier on Overpass either. When we were listening in the impact, it was not his name at the tip of the tongue. And of course, unnecessary. I mean, I'm not exaggerating listing Zywoo as a win condition for Vitality against a team like Astralis.
Yep, that's absolutely fair enough. If he goes MIA, you're going to have a rough time out there, even with other players stepping up. They're going for a 5-man stack in middle, though. This is interesting. Mac 10 looks like it's taking care of business, but down to 2 HP once again. Tail between his legs. dupreeh will scamper off back towards T-Spawn. Not before Zywoo will get at least 1 kill there, but good trade coming through. 2 versus 3, just about with dupreeh's HP, and I'm not sure what Device is up to there. The spacing's off, and he's given away a rifle. He's allowed Shox back into this round now, who actually picks up the rifle. Bit of a fake smoke, it looks at things as they fall back. They've got mid-control for dupreeh, who actually starts to make his way towards CT Spawn now. So I think Zipex will just be waiting for dupreeh to come in from elevators and see what's available. Same story with Zipex watching towards bridge. If he times as well, guaranteed frag, which he has. Shox alone now, so they can essentially send dupreeh in as the scout, as you referenced before on Overpass. He's got no HP. He can make lots of noise and see if he can just bait Shox out the swing. But he's actually gone straight in towards B, and he has got the bomb on his back. We'll see whether this works out for him. Looking good, dupreeh. He'll just be holding towards the other side of the map. Shox has to move now, unfortunately for him. He's got the AK-47. Look, there was a chance in this round, but stolen away.
Yeah, he's giving them the sound cues as well, so dupreeh might even get this kill. Knife out from Shoxy, and good damage inflicted. dupreeh, of course, can't take a single point. All of that wall bangable, but still he lives. And this duel between Shoxy and dupreeh continues. He gets the info that dupreeh is retreating, of course, looking to preserve what little he does still hold on to. Kevlar smoke, and looks like he'll find his Krieg in middle. So that's all worked out wonderfully for Astralis, and it is looking woeful for the Vitality defense at this point in time. They're pulling them around the map.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not for lack of kills or anything like that. They're hitting their shots. It's just closing these rounds out. Astralis are very good at putting the brakes on and working out how to get themselves out of the mess they've created, and it will be 2 players to survive there. Great work from dupreeh and Zipex just to make sure that Shoxy had absolutely 0 chance. He wasn't even part of any sort of interaction there as dupreeh scampers off the Mac 10, picks up the Krieg, and keeps the money strong for Astralis. They're up 6-1 after looking very impressive in the second half of Overpass. They're going to have 4 Kriegs, 1 AK-47. Alex on the AWP now. Zywoo potentially not feeling it. 2 and 7. One of those kills with the CZ. I think one of the opening pistol frags is his as well.
Very well,
so,
yeah.
And we'll see if he can come online, but this has been the slowest performance I've seen from him in a very long time.
On top from Alex. To stop that fast push, he has the support of Zywoo on the AWP. Yeah, it does seem indicative of a wavering confidence.
Yeah, we mentioned on the couch, like, he's not bad at Vertigo, it's just he doesn't go absolutely nuclear like you'd expect. This is a very quiet performance, as we'll see Alex. And this has happened to Vitality before. I've seen Alex pick up the AWP when things start to fall apart. You've got to have a B plan, and we'll see whether this is going to be where Glaive can survive. A couple of incendiary land at his feet. He'll have to drop the smoke. Speculative spam there from Apex as they see if they can fish out Dupree in that smoke position.
It does seem like, I mean, typical French style. RPK and Apex have come up with some real mid-round aggressions.
Yes.
A couple of protocols to take back that control of the stairs.
Instead of denying the rush of the incendiary and the smoke and trying to hold on to it while they reclaim it.
Like Inferno B site kind of vibes.
Yeah. So 4 on 5 in favor of Vitality here. Low HP device once again, but that hasn't really stopped them before, to be honest with you.
That was a gamble. Alex presents his cool new cap. Wants to show his Danish friends. Zipex does walk into the ZywOo short position. Does put them down to a 3 versus 5. This is the best shot we've seen from Vitality in a while. They cannot let this slip, and with knives out, Shocks punishing the rotate, catching them on that bridge ahead of the flash. Magisk will be able to claw one back, but it's all on him. And with only 18 seconds, yes, a bomb, but not Apex. Has to be precise, down to 7. RPK can surely finish what his teammate has already started.
He's just looking for any frags available to him right now, just seeing if he can just continue to beat down on their economy. He'll save the Krieg, knowing his money is not amazing. Actually goes for the rest of his teammates as well. They're going to be in a tough position now as he'll save the Krieg. $2,000 in reserve. His money's about equal with his teammates. That's a good save. If they do want to force into this round, which is certainly possible, they'll actually have a pretty decent bundle altogether. I would expect a tactical timeout here, and which is called right now. So nice work from RPK. So the double incendiary, the spam, flashes, baiting one of the players up, and then nice positioning from Shocks as well. Funnels him back out of A. He's ready and waiting towards the bottom of that ladder. So it will be a tactical timeout from Astralis. They are going to buy into the round with that saved Krieg. It's not going to be great, though. It's going to be pistols, maybe a couple of SMGs with 1 rifle in the hands of Magisk.
To return to that B aggression while we have this timeout from Astralis, it was that Molotov that landed on Glaive 100% forced the smoke. Like, it landed so square in the middle of where you would be playing to watch that balcony. You know, the T gap in that fence where you can peek towards the catwalk. That Molotov combined with a flashbang, no less. So Glaive had to not only get away from the flames, he had to do so blind and deploy that smoke. It really was effective and did get them that early advantage they were looking for. So that's the second and the first real buy-round victory for Vitality. 2 on the board. Of course, we did see them pick up the 4th round as well, with 3 players surviving.
Well, let's get into it then. The Desert Eagles are out. Glaive quickly up the ladder here. We've got Alex boosted towards middle. That's a nice little position there on the toolbox. You can see him looking in towards ladder room. I dare say that's going to guarantee a frag momentarily. Spam and Device with a lot of kills in that position over the tournament so far. At least a couple. Let's see whether that Molotov will flush the CTs out. They're going to smoke and suggest someone's still there. But remember, just 1 rifle here on the Danish side.
That Magisk Krieg scary, though. ZywOo's losing all of his health to those Deagle bullets. 50 caliber lodged in both of his toes. Still he stands. Alex still hesitant with all of his nades. We've seen 2 rounds in a row there. Still gets the Molotov out in time, trades it out, so they'll have an advantage. They'll be able to take control, but he can still hold the line over their flame. It's not going to give them too much of an advantage. Here's Magisk's rifle. Chance for Alex to take away the hard hitter, and he does. There is still Kevlar in play, though. That Krieg's going to be handed around like a hot potato. And Zipex, just hot, catches him. Shocks onto Device, and Dupree, another Dupree Deeg, delivering.
Yeah, Shocks has been trying to force the issue with these flanks time and time again. And now they won't know the B's necessarily open, but, well, it'll be Glaive who walks in towards A. His teammates were getting ready to go towards the B bomb side. They certainly will now, but it's RPK. Great position for at least 1 kill here. That's all he needs as his teammate rotates in. They should be absolutely fine unless something disastrous takes place at this point. AK in hand. That first kill needs to be clean. They'll get both. No problem at all. Denies the bomb plant as we go 6-3 now. And remember, that was a full investment from Astralis there. With the saved Krieg, they went for Deagles and a P250. Didn't work out for them. No plants, and will be another partial buy on the agenda going forward. Here's the great shot from Dupree, waiting for Shocks to count through. A 1 Deeg, as you'd expect. MP9 for Shocks. He's brought perfectly into this round. Read it very well. Should better farm some cash here as they invest pretty much nothing at all. 1 P250, a Deagle, no armor, no nades. Should be a good chance for Vitality to start stacking some cash.
Yeah, I'm kind of intrigued to see where they put those SMGs, you know, just how aggressive. You know there's no armor, it's only P250s, and holding middle is Shoxy. Gets the first and the second with an MP9 and $1,200 in his pocket for the future rounds. Alex has also managed to get a little bit of a double kill reward, in contrast to that of the rifles. members. Back turns, Zipex takes his hands off the mouse and keyboard, accepts his fate, and knows that that is the fourth for their opponent, Vertigo. It's a second map, and it was Astralis' pick. I will reiterate that the first map was Vitality picking Overpass, trying to catch Astralis unawares with a surprise pick, a map we hadn't seen Vitality play in over 3 months. But it didn't quite work out for them, and now into the Astralis domain with a relatively convincing T side. 6 rounds already accrued.
Astralis back into full buys here. A couple of compromises. Device only with one single smoke here, and Shocks at the MP9 push middle. It's a crowd favourite. He'll go towards T-spawn, and he's got no contact whatsoever, so he can call rotations towards A already. He'll be chomping at the bit to get stuck in on this one. We've seen plenty of flanks from him. They've got the man advantage. Great shot from Glaive. It shuts down the AWP of Alex, who will be stuck in no man's land there. And Glaive now just wants to get stuck in. Can't find that quick second kill, though, and that's the bomb going down. This is a nightmare for Astralis.
Express delivery, and ZywOo finds form. A triple kill. That might very well be his first multi-kill round of Vertigo. Magisk, however, doing exactly the same back, and this time it bites just a little bit harder. RPK to clutch. 2 to find. Damage inflicted onto the Astralis members, but Magisk, if he goes for a straight-up plan here, he can get a double. They line up, and RPK, the tank, rolls over 2 in a split second. 5 to 6. Vitality equalizing.
Oh, great scenes there. It looked like Shocks had actually given the round up with the ambitious push with just the MP9 towards the A ramp. Mages with 3 kills in the round, but they didn't anticipate the B player in the form of RPK to be ready and waiting on the A site. And that comes from the push from Shocks. The fact he gets down towards that T-spawn position, he's confirmed that B's clear. Of course, RPK is going to rotate. That's all about information gathering at the very start. And that's why on defaults, you'll have someone at the generator and T-spawn watching for that push towards ladder, so no one can get that quick information. But they were doing a set piece at the very start. Astralis didn't have it covered. And more often than not, you'll be fine, but it's unfortunate. That's the round where they get towards T-spawn very quickly and allows RPK to come over. It
does seem very uncharacteristic of Glaive, though, to be so brazen with the bomb without that trade potential.
It looked like he didn't realize he had it.
Right.
Just a
bit of an oopsie.
Straight up mistake, yeah. You don't ideally want to be going in alone with 0 space in the bomb in your back, but it happens every now and then. We'll see a partial buy into this round, number 12, as Vitality starts to string some rounds together here. It's going to be 4 in a row for them as we go 6-5. Another A finish looking likely with a couple of smokes and some flashes.
Oh, sometimes Vertigo is so good, like this new map design, I can actually hear the construction like just around me.
It's very engaging, isn't it? It
really is.
Immersive.
Very immersive experience. CSGO on the up and up. ZywOo on the tag and frag. Gets it, and a second. Magisk shut down. These armored deagles landing rather flaccid. A chance perhaps for Device to behead one is just the one-on-one versus Shoxy in middle, but he waits and he connects. 6 to 6. We level the score. 12 rounds of play so far on our second map, and Vitality, I mean, on their defense, would you still be expecting them to be coming into this half with a lead to stay competitive? It's
difficult to tell. Like, Vertigo is such a weird map right now. A lot of people are saying it's T-sided, but it's still, I think, such a small sample size to really work that out. We're seeing an evolution in strategy almost every single tournament we see it played. For now, though, I feel like both teams will be relatively happy. Astralis, they had a great start here. Vitality coming back online. Their money's looking pretty decent overall. This is where we get to the real important rounds. Yeah, the meat and potatoes coming through. This is going to be a big one. We're going to see Alex back on the AWP. Interesting. Holding towards scaffolding right now, waiting for the flames to go down before he takes his pick. Smoke down as well. Inch by inch, he'll get a bit more info. As we'll see, this is more of a default approach from Astralis. There's a boost from Shoxy towards middle. That looks like a kill to me, but Glaive is ready for it. Great shot. Flashbang from Magisk as well helps him out. ZywOo, that's knife out. No idea they're that close, but Alex, he'll get the call. Looking for a double.
I think he might have been operating under the assumption that Alex was actively AWPing it, trying to knife for the jiggle down long, and they were already right up the ramp. Alex going to be feeling apologetic, perhaps, but still standing and a chance to redeem. RPK, interesting that he's so brazen on top of those boxes, but it does mean he can get a whole lot of information. Look at that boost angle.
Okay, that's a cool one.
He can catch them on the way up the stairs, and he can even probably jump on that head to jump peak middle.
Yeah, that looks like a guaranteed frag to me. They're going to walk up and have no idea that's a thing.
Give me that X-ray back. Thank you. Dupree wasn't quite on his way just yet, and here's the tip of the head to tap. He was not expecting that whatsoever.
That's really cool. Well done by RPK. Great first half from him so far. Majors, though, same story. 2 versus 2. And he runs around still with 25 seconds on the clock. RPK, he could have closed things out right there and then. It's Alex. Remember, he started the round with the AWP. He's now swapped over to the M4. Coming in from the B-steps position. He has a Molotov and a flash available to him. And more importantly, the kit as well. But he's up against one of the world's best in these sort of scenarios. It's Zipex, who's got a very impressive rating in terms of the clutches on Vertigo, but it's not going to work out for him this time. Alex, patient as you like, just walks up and helps himself to the frag. Guaranteed defuse as Vitality will take the lead now 7-6. He'll recover a Krieg. He still has that utility. It wasn't required at all in the clutch.
That's beautiful. We said he'd look for redemption, and that's a perfect 1v1 clutch victory versus Zipex. Puts them in the lead. Firm grasp as well, considering that should Astralis concede here, they're going to be having to come into the last round with butter knives and toasters.
Great boost there. Really enjoyed that. Like, it's a boost I haven't seen before, and you can see how advantageous that angle is. You can get the same sort of shot from the bomb side boxes himself and just have a very difficult shot there, but that gives you a few more inches just to have a bit more of an off angle. You see Dupree wasn't pre-aiming that whatsoever.
It was like his whole head, a perfect T-head shape.
He like took, what, three clicks just to make sure he got it and nailed it. Great stuff.
You can see Vitality been putting in their homework, putting in the hours to stay competitive. You're coming into Katowice, all of the top 10 in attendance. You know that you have to be presenting a map pool unlike you've ever shown before to truly have a shot at the trophy here, and clear innovations displayed by Vitality already.
Yeah, 5 maps is not good enough anymore. It's all about the map pool and being able to run over your opponents and be ready for whatever they're going to throw back. We'll see round 14 come through.
Map ocean.
Yeah, indeed. So, Zai, we're back on the AWP. Starting to feel himself a little bit more, perhaps. Maybe he doesn't trust the fact that Alex didn't give him that information the round before.
Perhaps, and saw the T's going for some sort of boost. The wild bullets do favor the CTs, it seems, and there's nades where that came from as well. Little shaken. Astralis might want to slow this one down. They have control of middle. Alex removes control of ramp and the bomb. No one yet to contest that either, with Device going down kind of on his own. This round gets infinitely more difficult now.
Certainly does. Bit of damage inflicted. Minute on the clock, but the bomb down in a horrible position. Glaive can recover it at least. There's an incendiary landing at his front door, but he gets out in time. CT's happy to relinquish the bomb there. They've got a 5 versus 3. They don't have to lock down that part of the map. It's not a bomb site. Time is under 1 minute now. As we hit the 45-second mark, they're going to finish up towards A and just walk up and hope for the best, but looks things. Shocks towards the sandbags once again. Molotov available, but will they use it in that position? It really will telegraph as to what their final intentions are.
Little off kilter. Glaive flashing himself 30 seconds. Haven't quite got the time to fully commit to the check, and no, not seeing the Molotov fly out just yet towards the sandbags. That means he goes completely unchecked, and now Shoxy, it's a guarantee. It's a complete freebie. 1 and 2, teaching us the basics of maths. Not quite going to find the third, though. But no time for this one. Magisk, unfortunately, he just has to accept that this round will not be his. Just strolling down the ramp, thinking about his choices in the last round of play. He'll be bringing that Krieg in.
Well, that's the second time that's happened in this first half so far. Astralis will be kicking themselves if it allows it to happen once again. It's certainly a position you would overlook given the circumstances. There's a low clock available at the very top. You're in a 5-on-3 already. He found an opening kill towards the bomb site. You would assume that it would be open, but Shoxy plays this very well indeed. He waits till one player is fully committed, and out of the equation, he's got no gun in his hand. He can't fight. You never shoot the bomb planner first. You always take down the supporting player to make sure you've got a guaranteed frag on the second. So he does a very good job in that department, and we will see a scrappy buy in round number 15 here for Astralis. You've got Galils, Mac-10s, UMPs, and 1 Krieg. And Dupree, he's not slowing down as he hits the first headshot. That's Apex being removed. You'd assume RPK's on the other side here. Tries to flash Dupree off, and he gets a great shot towards middle. Shocks removed.
A missed shot from Shocks and immediately punished. Dupree is looking crispy in Katowice. 3 for 3. And I was going to say the weapon advantage lies with the T's, but as an M4 graces Alex's palms, and except that Zipex is still working with an SMG, it does look a little more dire. Alex actually considering some aggression here. Can work out the position of Device from the trajectory of the nades, and so he continues his advance, expecting a retreat, and that's the frag he was looking for. The rest commit towards B. Glaive across and immediately eliminated. You've come to RPK's site. You better bring your best. 9-6 on the half, and the French have come into Astralis' map pick fighting.
Great half of Counter-Strike once again. This series is warming up nicely. It's the tank leading the charge with 16 kills. Shock just beneath him with 14. What year is it, Alex? We'll find out after this break.
And I feel the lies and I feel the sand. Forever hold, no matter if we're cast away, a fire in the dark. I know that you won't be waiting again. Right from the start, I see the end. A world torn apart, but I know we're meant. Forever hold, no matter if we're cast away, a fire in the dark. I know that you won't be waiting again.
ESL Pro Tour CSGO Masters Championship. We're live from Katowice. It's our second map of our second series on our second day. I'm Machine, I'm joined by Henry G, and we've seen Vitality post a very respectable defense on the Astralis map pick. Vertigo continues now with the French on the attack. 9-6 the score, Hank. How are you feeling about Astralis' chances of closing in two?
I still think they're going to get the 2-0. I remember they've won all the pistol rounds so far and had clean conversions in every single encounter. I expect the same thing, but if Vitality can find a pistol victory here, maybe we do see the third map. I think it comes down to that, but let's get into the second half as we'll see Vitality switch over to their T side now. One smoke, two flashes, the exact same buy that Astralis had in their pistol round, and we'll get into it now. See if there's any aggression from the CT side. They're going to send three players towards the A ramp quick as you like, and Device to lead the charges. Dupree just probing towards B here. He's got many bodies outside that B bomb site. Here comes the flash, and actually it's going to be the smoke, so he will get vision at least, but they're pushing their way up towards B.
Yeah, and the second flash does catch him perfectly, and doing the dance, ZywOo does get the first. Glaive tucked in to catch. And here's the drop of the boost. He knows one's in the corner, and Alex can't challenge either. He's gone down. ZywOo's willing to challenge as well. A lot of players utilizing the jump to try and exploit their opponent's crosshair placement, and it's working wonderfully. 4v4 though, and the nade doesn't do too much. Just tickles the tank.
See what can be done here. Everything slows down for a second. There was a chance there for ZywOo, but caught on the reload of the Glock. Does upgrade to the USP now. They're going to start transitioning over. Fantastic shot from RPK. He hasn't missed many today. ZywOo continues their rampage on this side of the map, and that should be it. The bombs can be planted. No kits available right now. They've got a smoke and a flashbang, but Apex There's no way he's going down here. It would just take a missed shot from him, but he absolutely nails it right in the back of the skull of Zipex. And that's going to be their first pistol of the series so far. That's Magisk saving the smoke and flashbang potentially here. Not many options available to him.
God, there's not much of a sadder sentence than saving the smoke and the flashbang here. That's pretty damn depressing.
Yeah, it doesn't go too well for Astralis there whatsoever, but very well done from Vitality, making their way up towards the B side, is bullying their way in with a very effective flashbang to kick things off there. It was Glaive answering back with one, but then Zywo coming online now. He'll get two big frags and survive the round as well. One will go off. Nice positioning on the post plan situation. That's Apex watching the flanks, making sure there's no funny business going on. And double digits found early on here for Vitality. And we just will survive, just to note that. So will we see the force buy in the second? It was Vitality that opted against it, went for the buy in the third, if you remember. So we'll see a Desert Eagle for Mages. So he will be confirming they're going for the force here. So Deagle Armor, a Scout for Device, UMP for Glaive. Here's a replay. RPK, great shot. This one maybe even better. Long range, one bullet, clean as you like. Same story for this one. Apex makes no mistake there.
This could be the 10th round in a row. If my maths is terrible, it's actually not. It could be the 9th round in a row for Vitality. 10th, the one following. They really strung them together at the end of that CT half and now into the T side, winning one of their first, in fact, the first pistol of this series so far. However, that's a big advantage gifted by Apex. Glaive finds him with the UMP. Dupree's hearing the steps. They're charging towards B. A full commitment once again, and the Deagle doesn't connect. Zipex's, however, does. Just the 1-for-1, though. Alex is on a double at the moment and tucks in on quad. Once they get that smoke to slow them down, it's a Scout, it's a Deagle. Utility holds a whole lot of power here, but they are low, and that Scout can punish.
Certainly can. Waiting for any players overstepping the mark here. Zipex will now get some backup from Glaive. Device holding towards the quad position, but it's a double kill from Vitality. That's the round locked down. You can't really take this with a Scout's armor and a smoke, so he's going to fall back here. That pretty much guarantees 3 rounds now for Vitality. That 10-round streak will be coming into full fruition, as we'll see an Eco coming up next, recovering the Kriegs here. Any bits and pieces he can find. Alex with 15 kills so far, gets 3 kills in that particular round. And that's going to be a complete shutdown there. A couple of kills found for Astralis, but not quite enough to deny the plant. Quick access towards B found, and then a nice clean finish. Device making his way back in towards B. He's going to see if he can find the Galil potentially, but the bomb has thrown it off the map. So he'll go into Nectar of a Scout and maybe some P250s around him. And that's at the top end as well. Potentially just USPs.
Not again. But this is the sad tale of the CT side. It can sometimes spiral, especially after a half. You know, a 9-6 doesn't sound so bad, especially when you win the pistol, but should you concede, margin for error can get ripped from you very, very quickly. Vitality looking very flush for cash and starting their assault now into the 18th. Device will be smoking off ramp aggressive and also taking that Scout up towards the crane. Very good at taking these fights, Device. He actually wants to finish it with the nade. If Apex doesn't move, he does. And lives to fight another day elsewhere. Shox has managed to connect, and looks like so have the entire Vitality squad into B. Rinse, repeat. B site successful again.
12 and Device manages to hit 3 shots of the Scout so far. Only yields 1 kill, but still getting warmed up nicely. He's almost certainly going to go down here, seeing if there's anything else available to him. Another Scout shot connects, but do need to hit either cleaning the head or a couple in the body to find the kill. Another chance here. Great stuff. They might consider their options here. They want to fall back. He's actually doing a little bit too much damage for their liking. And there's finally a shot missed, and that should be it. He's going to go down here. Not quite. The HE just tickles his back.
Anyone else?
Yeah, maybe. I think they've just given it up now. It's like, you know what? Let's let him keep his Scout. Like, that's fine.
You know what, mate? I've changed my mind.
Yeah. So he's RBK patrolling that rifle now. Should be able to finish things off, which is the correct thing to do. Make sure he can't get a Krieg into the next round. We saw how powerful that was in the hands of RPK towards the B bomb site. Enables the anchors to feel a lot more confident by themselves, especially towards B.
That's a really good point, yeah, of course. The scavenged Krieg on RPK did make the B site look like, I mean, just his score will tell you how hard the B site was for them to take. 20-7.
Yeah.
You said, what year is it? Well, it's 2020 and 20 frags for RPK.
Big performance from him. He's the kind of name you need to be turning up in spades if you could have a chance to take down Astralis. They haven't had to rely on Zywo so far, but they've got a pretty convincing lead so far. It's 12-6, but they've lost the aforementioned Zywo. At the start of the round there, we said Device's calling card is playing that A ramp, finding the opening picks, and he's delivered. 5-on-4, repositions back towards short.
He's really done his research on that sandbags battle
Yep.
versus that AWP boost over the box, peeking the side of it, the wallbang damage. He's likely Spent many times in the lab working that one out. You can see the protocols in place. Apex, he's got his 3 nades flying through the sky. Device, he's flying through the frags. 3 now as he catches Apex's bottom. Finally, will be silenced, but Shox has been thrown to the wolves. 4 Danish wolves, to be precise. Has got the bomb and has got time, so he's going to look to inflict as much damage as he can. $50 in the back pocket of dupreeh. He's desperate to keep hold of that M4, and Shox has an opportunity to try and take as many as he can away.
Looking very good for the first round here in the second half for Astralis. Shox, yeah, not much he can do with this one, but a couple of kills, considering they've got 0 money right now, would be big. But dupreeh holds on strong, confirms a clean round there, only 1 player going down. It was Device, but he found 3 kills. They've recovered the AWP, so no problem at all. They're going to want to keep that up. Watch out for Device being a dynamic AWP. That's something he's known for. He's very good at just repositioning every single round. You never really know where he's going to be. Now he's shown such a strong presence towards A. He might consider options towards middle at this point. We've seen a lot of T-spawn picks towards the middle area with the AWP. That seems to be a very viable option these days. I want to see more of that. I love the aggressive plays towards middle on the CT side with calculated utility.
I remember watching Fnatic's CT side on Vertigo, but where they would just straight up walk in. Brollan would just Krieg it out and just stroll into middle. There's so much control and info, and of course, if you keep your ears perked up, you'll be able to hear so much information from middle. That's the shot Device hit. He had 3 targets, and he still was able to choose in the fraction of a second, the third as well, just before the flash popped.
Yeah, great stuff in Device. Money strong, though. Maybe not, actually. Looking like it might be a little bit of damage going for a partial buy. So they could have actually brought a few rifles out, but they've gone for the more conservative approach, which is absolutely fine. They've got a 12-7 lead. They can still win this round for sure. We'll see if Glaive will blink at all as he gets a bit of backup towards the B side. dupreeh will be joining in at the top of the steps. Good damage. Headshot through the corner there, and that's their cue to strike here. They can get an equal trade at this point. They're in a great position, but from the window, just a barrage of bullets there spraying down. The incendiary, once that's confirmed, they should be safe. They've got time to reposition, rotate over, and the chaos will stop for a few seconds at least.
dupreeh was jiggling for that exact peak, and the bomb sent back to spawn as Alex throws that one off the map, or dupreeh makes sure he does.
It goes back to where the bomb went off.
Where the bomb went off, excuse me.
So it used to go back to T-spawn, which is really weird. You could drop it off and go back to T-spawn. Now it just lands exactly
Where you left. Okay, fine. Haven't gone. I mean, I jump off the building a lot when we play Vertigo, but I don't take the bomb. That's
no, you
usually.
Don't.
I mean, I'm not usually taking the bomb.
My favorite thing about our Vertigo games is just the silence before you go down. And I look at the top right, and it's just like the room's quiet for a little bit. And I was like, do I want to laugh at this?
You want to talk
about
it, Alex,
moment? It's averaging one every other game you're right now. The ratio, It's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I do have this habit of saying jump off if you're cool.
That is a good one as well. When you jump off your cool at the end of the round, you never timed it correctly.
Let's never say never, Henry. I have got it a couple of times. It looks pretty cool.
Well, RBK, that is the opposite of cool, really. Through the smoke he goes. And there's a good trade, so fair play. ZywOo now has control of the B step, applying pressure towards dupreeh.
I don't think ZywOo's done. Apex posted up for the A-ramp push, but it won't be getting too many fights there at this moment in time. Just Device patrol. Hello?
He's crashed. They've done something.
That must be something funny going on, something fishy.
Unless he was lining up the grenade.
Could have been.
When the bullets started being fired, though, you just move out the way, right? He didn't move at all. Maybe he was so engaged with throwing whatever smoke he was lining up. It looked like to me he was not moving at all.
Nothing in the chat, though, so...
yeah, they've put also crashing in chat, question mark. So something happened there. That looked too odd. But still, they might win the round.
Damage inflicted, we have to play on. 3 versus 3 as Magisk ensures level odds for this take. The bomb on the back of Shox was the one for the first contact. It's good damage, but the trade is not swift enough. And the smoke towards window as well. He's giving himself the perfect room to maneuver. A new line found and a frag as well. Zipex onto Apex.
So even with a player crashing at the top of the B side there, meaning he was just removing the game, he couldn't do anything. Sometimes it happens, computers and all that. We're going to see somehow, some way, Astralis picking up the round with Magisk just absolutely going ham with that Krieg. We see how powerful that is towards B. We mentioned it before, and it's kind of really encapsulated there as 1 kill found for Shox. Still got a good chance in this one as he brings it back to a 1 versus 1 now. Device the AWP, no kit available, bomb to go down. He is at the scene of the crime here, but the smoke allows Shox to reposition back towards the B steps.
This could be for Vertigo. A round that Astralis were gifted. They took it by force. 3 players falling to Shox. 2 so far. 1 last on the docket. It is Device closing in. He's still got the AWP. No sidearm in his grasp. Trying to draw the fire and hits the shot. My goodness. Cold as ice. Didn't look like he even broke a sweat. A sigh of relief perhaps, but that's the 9th for Astralis. Damage control complete.
I didn't think Device stood a chance there when he had no kit, the AWP, and it was close range encounter as well. He could have been absolutely done for there. Maybe Shock's giving him a bit too much respect at that point. We all called the technical timeout. It was a crash there. 2 PCs, 3 people crashed on the Astralis side apparently for a good 10 seconds or so. So somehow they win the round. A sigh of relief for sure. I suppose the right team won in the end. They had a good advantage, but it was still on a knife's edge. So well played to Mages to bring that round back in their favor. And of course, the Device, he finds his 21st frag there and maybe even saves the map. As you mentioned, that would have been an absolute disaster if that one goes awry. But in terms of money, Vitality, they struggled with the buy in the previous round. They've got an average of $3,300 right now. The very top end, you got Shocks at $4,100. That's about it. You might just want to take a partial buy here and allow Astralis to get to double digits. This technical timeout, they're not going to discuss anything at all. This is the moment. So you can see, after those shots, you're out of there. So he's obviously crashed at that point.
Yeah. I mean, it did look so peculiar, seeing that elbow just stay completely static.
But it does provide good context of how monumental this was for Mages. They've lost a player by virtue of a crashed PC and somehow win the round.
Shox did it its very best. Let's see it from Device's POV. It just looks so calculated. Catches him.
Yeah, Shoxy knows he maybe gave him a bit too much respect there, allowed him to get to the bomb, smoke on top of it, knew exactly where he was. Great play from Device, but Shox definitely had the advantage there.
Too much room to maneuver?
I feel like he could apply more pressure, more shots when the smoke went down as well, just making some footsteps, making things awkward. Just kind of dry peeked after the bomb was touched. Pretty standard stuff. Really didn't toy with him at all. Didn't see if it was a fake defuse going on. He was completely baited out with the smoke going down. Assumed he had the defuse kit, I suppose. But great stuff from Device as we get back into the action momentarily. As mentioned before, Vitality don't have many options going to round number 22. It's make or break time now. Vitality give this map up with the series completed. Astralis, great performance on overpass from it. They did pick up both pistols and conversions here. Finally given one up in the second half here of Vertigo. They actually gave it the 0-3 themselves, but now won 3 rounds in response. So looking to make that 4 and looking very likely to do so. So Shox is just inquiring how long he has to wait. Just wants to get back in there.
He's definitely feeling hot after that last round, despite, of course, Device's heroics taking the victory away. That would have put 13 on the board. God, it could have been 13-8 had Device not made that look easy. Loading back in shortly. Into the action then, round 22. If you've just joined us, Vitality tried to throw a spanner in the works with Overpass, but it seems it's the second map, Astralis' pick, where that spanner truly arrived. 12-9. Analysts still touting Astralis' favourites, and we'll see why here. Just the pistols from the French. Half buy. Looking to make it costly for Astralis. Thinking big picture. So first, no issues for Dupree to reposition as well. Double AWPs on Vertigo. Henry, not your favourite though?
Not my favourite, but I don't mind it. It's the same story for Nuke. Like, it's not my first choice, to be honest with you, but a lot of teams make it work. Like Team Liquid run double AWPs on CT side of Nuke all the time and look very, very effective with it. And we'll see if Astralis can do the same. In this particular round, it's a little scarier considering up against the pistols, but very well held there at the start. You get the opening kill, drop your utility, reposition, set up the crossfires, and put the ball back in their core, as it were.
Your turn.
Oh, I like that. Some 80s robotic effects there.
Yeah, that sounded sick. I feel like Skrillex is about to drop a whole new track on us.
That was, a little sneak peek of what's to come, potentially. Wow. 40 seconds remaining, no nades. Vitality to seeing if there's any overzealous CT players pushing in towards their crosshairs, but everyone's saying very patient. Look at the bomb. Okay, so Alex has the bomb right now towards the A ramp. His teammates are just going to run in towards B. Hope for the best here. Make it look like this is the full commitment. The bomb won't be spotted. You will see after you kill each player, the bomb's still not there. So you're going to keep one player towards A at least. Maybe not. We have got Device who's left A, so the bomb will be planted. Decent effort here. This was a partial buy from Vitality. It gives every player on the T side now an extra $800 going to that next round. Maybe even gets a kill out of this. He does not, but like I said, that's extra cash that they desperately needed here. They had $1,900 after that partial investment per player. Loss bonus certainly racking up, but every little helps. It means they get full buy across the board now, and that's reflected on the money. You can see 5,500 on a couple of players there. Wouldn't have enough for absolutely everything if they wanted to get an AWP out. So every dollar always helps out. And like I said, great stuff from Dupree. Gets that first kill, doesn't overcommit, drops the utility, back towards the quad position, and just hits shot after shot. No problem at all.
Looks very comfortable when you watch it from his POV. The last shot, though, spectacular. Transitioning to that USP and just shrugging off Apex's push. Seeing a lot of teams opt for this one. saw G2 throw this first. It was Kenny who I personally saw throwing that Molotov towards the sandbags.
It's down to the timings, right? Because on the T side, you can just run up the A ramp. You can just get up there and you'll be at the corner at the same time the CTs, right? It's a real nightmare. So you want to just try and deny that if possible. And that actually works out for ZywOo. He'll be holding towards the bottom of the A ramp, take down Device. Finally shuts him down. He's got 21 kills with his name device, as we'll see dupreeh on that secondary op, still patrolling towards the B bomb site. Alex is over there right now, just making sure there's no flanks coming through. But plenty of time remaining, a man advantage, and all of their utility pretty much. 4 smokes and Molotovs here.
ZywOo could get a taste of lead here. Zipex playing that close angle. It always seems like such a risk. Unlikely, and I'm unwilling to describe it as a one and done though when Zipex is the one playing it. Apex, he's making it clear, he's right around the corner. You can hear the pins pulled. That's the word I was trying to say. And Zipex, he's fragging a whole lot better than I'm talking.
Wow, that's a great way to get back into the round there. The flashbang from his teammate as well. Oh, shocks, he pushed all the way towards middle, makes a bit of a meal of the kill, but didn't take too much damage, so it doesn't really matter. That's absolutely fine. 30 seconds remaining. The bomb's actually outside the B bomb site right now. They're going for another cheeky boost here, getting Alex up towards the site.
It's a nice way to peek that kind of metal girder position we see people hold B stairs from. And Zipex, despite the flash, he gets the bomb planter as well. That was ZywOo. Bomb's loose now, and Alex, he's got to find 2 players close quarters. dupreeh's made things awkward. There's a smoke on the other side, no less. And with just 9 seconds, Shoxy, some ridiculous 3 taps is all he had to hope for, and instead it will just be dupreeh's Deeg chipping away at them. And so 12-11, this game continues to stay as close as can be.
Really enjoying dupreeh's AWP right now. You can see it's getting in the mind of Apex there in the middle of the team. It's going to be Zipex. This was when the round really came in their favor. Look how blind that kid is. Apex absolutely wrecked there. And then Zipex, he couldn't have got a better kill here. The fact the bomb goes down with less than 20 seconds on the clock, dupreeh just gets himself back in towards the core position. Wasn't even expecting the flank coming through. The only chance Vitality really had was Shox's position towards CT spawn. If he gets a really clean kill there, a bit more confidence, he might have been able to do a bit more of that. But he was quite static after finding the kill. I feel like he was detected. He didn't want to do too much of it. But Apex starting to step up here. Can he get the double kill with that Desert Eagle? Zipex seems to believe in that fact. He'll fall back here. Drops a grenade, but doesn't do too much damage. It's up to Majors now to get a lovely shot with the AK. Can't do it. M4 recovered. And man advantage towards Vitality, but not for very long at all.
Apex, he had a chance to neutralize Glaive. Zipex is there as well, though, in tow. ZywOo makes it clear that Apex is not alone as he throws a clip through the wooden boards. But, oh, look at Zipex re-aggressing so early into the round. There's 70 seconds on the clock. He's calling this clear. He might continue his walk. Apex is low, and he's going to get sent even lower. Big frag.
Yeah, Zipex very aware of all the possible risks there. You see him spamming towards scaffold and he's saying, I know you might be there. Don't swing on me. Just let me fall back. Call this one a draw.
He's going to see the gun.
Yeah. Well, if it was a rifle, I think he would, but the pistol actually shrouds the vision for a little bit here. ZywOo might be onto something here. Is he going to check the corner? I don't think he is. So ZywOo didn't even have to take that quick kill, but he does. 2 on 2. Right back in this round now.
What's Shox up to during all this? ZywOo's on ramp, Shox just behind him in tow, looking to be responsible for that flank. And now at M4, gaming. One of them has armor. ZywOo will be working with the favorable Krieg. Of course, he has no armor, so we'll be treating that a little more patiently from the flank. Speaking of patience, is dupreeh. 20 seconds, though, to stop the plant. There's only one man for the job, and it will be Glaive. They're going in silently, just walking into the site, and they'll start punching the digits, but it's the frag that Glaive was hoping for. Now, all onto Shoxy. 1 versus 2, looking to cross back and gets the first. His first clutch was stolen from him by Device, and now it's dupreeh to dash his dreams once again. He has an opportunity to do so. Health advantage for him as well, but only the sidearm.
Yeah, he knows damage has been inflicted, and he got the information from his teammate, ran towards short at least. He has got the smoke and a kit. Shox has not won a bucket load of clutches on Vertigo so far. Can he close this one out? He certainly can. Great positioning, good shot there, and it's going to be Shox coming out clutch as he recovers the AWP, gets a 20-second frag on the board. Astralis give one up after winning 5 rounds in a row there. Right down to the wire, and that was ZywOo just getting back into the round there with the picked up Krieg and somehow finding a little bit of space there, and the round tumbles apart here. This was the moment. Zipex trying to get information for his team, gives it up. Glaive was trying to buy as much time as he possibly could for the flank to come through, but Shoxy delivers on all fronts here. Very well played.
Shoxy's decision with half health to just play in, standing in my mind in the open, does that, you just said the off angle? He's just theory crafting dupreeh's coming in?
You don't want to hold the most obvious position where they're going to be
planted for
aiming.
him as
You want to,
well.
like, if you can jump on him before he even touches the bomb, like, he's not going to be anticipating that.
Well, definitely. Alex will just have his shoulder spotted. Not too much damage yet to be inflicted. Instead, the majority actually of early damage from the nade is Glaive. Down to 68. Aggressive hold towards ramp, but no AWPs in sight. Certainly not devices. He's taking his elsewhere.
Don't like this. Oof. Thought he was going down
Yeah.
before there. Glaive's a brave man. So that means the AWP is in a different position. It's not at the A ramp this time. We said Device was known to be a dynamic AWP. He's currently holding a CT spawn towards middle. His teammate's not feeling exactly comfortable. He'll transition back in towards the sniper deck. Good incendiary from Zipex. He's trying to deny access towards scaffolding here, funnel them up the ramp. That's where Device is now watching. Smoke deployed towards the top of that position. Oh, it's a great smoke as well. It's such a sick one. Like, you can see them coming up. If they commit, they get gray screen. You can still see their ankles.
That's so powerful. And he's got the lineup as well. The counter is Apex. He just straight bull rushes it, crossing to sandbags. That's going to draw Device out. Now a smoke arriving. They've got a real shot at this one, and it looks like they have to commit now with 24 seconds. Glaive's on top, and he doesn't connect the bullets. The flames bring him down to 2 HP. He's still not dead. He's still not dead. Instead, it's Dupree. Apex shuts down Glaive and Zywoo. He has to get the bomb down, and now they've got a real shot at this. Advantages just swapping hands back and forth. Magisk now onto Apex. It's a 2v2. Will they calm down for a second? It seems they will.
It's an open plan here. 2 versus 2. This is the kill. RPK. He shows way too much there, and Zywoo had to connect his shot. It's not going to happen. They know exactly where he is. One of the scrappiest rounds so far, but certainly one of the most exciting. It wasn't clear who was coming out on top. Everyone was blind, sitting in smokes. No idea who's going to win the round, but it comes out in favor of Astralis as they'll bring things to 13-11 now. Make it 12. As we'll see plenty of money available for Vitality and a tactical timeout called by Astralis actually after winning that round. It was a very chaotic one.
Yeah.
Adrenaline's pumping. Communication could have been a bit off there with all the chaos that was ensuing around the map. But they've got an opportunity. This is where they can tie things up at 13-13 on the CT side. Money's good for Vitality though. They're happy this call out has been made. So we'll see 8K on Shocks. Same story for Zywoo. They haven't invested just yet, but there's certainly a buy available. Do we see that double AWP setup coming again?
Did slap. This is Zipex. You can see this chaos. Just watch as the perspectives jump. That could have very well have been the Vitality round if he sprayed.
He ran through those smokes in his screen right now, through the flames, while blind, and had 3 players in front of him. That could have been a disaster for Astralis, but they held it well.
He jumped on top of the sight boxes, then jumped over the smoke,
Yup.
spraying wildly at sandbags, landed in a Molotov and still survived just to live another day. The frags kept coming, and so do the rounds. It's time for round number 26. As they stay inseparable, 12-13. Glaive considering Crane, but some speculative shots dissuade, and now actually Apexes are the ones to be caught. Look at this position from Zipex. He's gonna... Oh, he's set up for so much. Does he wait? No trigger discipline, no need. Instead, the spray, but Zywoo adjusts now. The nades are coming in. What's happening? Chaos injected into Vertigo, and Glaive's not done. Takes the AWP out of the equation, and just 2 remain.
That's insane. I really enjoyed that from Zipex especially. He could have displayed some trigger discipline there, but they knew exactly what was going on. They could detect the boost on the other side. They start spamming through the smoke. Of course, Zywoo gets one through it. Absolute pandemonium as we go into their 4-on-2 now. This is a huge round, and Dupree, what a great position this is. He's got every advantage he could possibly ask for against RPK, but his crosshair is getting dangerously close to the head of Dupree as he starts to fall back. Crisis averted for now, at least. Shocks with the flashbang. This could work out quite nicely. Have to be one hell of a flashbang.
Just underhanding it? Or double peeking it. That seems almost better. Draws the attention. RPK does it all on his own. No need. Shocks yet to reveal his hand. Device about to use his to pull that trigger on the cross. Nothing to stop it other than Molotov, and I think that's done enough. Now RPK's fight is with Magisk, and a double kill so far from the bearded man. And another triple kill from Magisk. 13-13, and a roar from Coach Zonic, keeping things as close as can be. What's the Vitality money situation, though?
I'm reporting in now live here from Vertigo, Alex. It's not looking amazing, I'll be honest with you. We have got a serious situation of all 5 players being beneath $4,000. So we're going to see a partial buy here with Desert Eagles and Armor as we tie up the scoreline 13-13. It's a great start from Zipex at the start of this round, pushing them back towards the B side, closing things out in style with Magisk, who's just an absolute rock at the B bomb side.
Could you
That's all
imagine,
I've got for you right
could
now.
you imagine if weather forecasters actually delivered it like that? Maybe
Yeah.
weather forecasters and shoutcasters, there's something there. And, well, this round, has been and gone. Triple kill from Magisk up against the Armored Eagles. And oh, missed shot from
Chance.
Device, and quite the opposite from Apex, a weapon as well.
Oh, Device, you're a brave man, my friend.
Warp on his back. He's going to throw the molly. They're going to push that for sure. He's in trouble. And oh, he's not. I changed my mind. Actually, it's the USP. Double kill, 2 taps into the skull of RPK. He could have been punished. That could have spiraled, but no. So stable. Device.
Yeah, as soon as he gets that incendiary down, he knows he's getting at least one more there. They was certainly going to commit off it. He was quite lucky to get both of them, but it was great shots regardless. Impressed by that. It's going to be the lead now for Astralis after winning 3 rounds in a row in this second half. Vitality in a lot of trouble here, but that was the eco. They are going to have plenty of money here as their final timeout is called. Krieg's coming forward. We'll have a look at the scoreboard while we're here. At the very top, still Shox and RPK. The latter with 24 kills, Shox with 23. ZywOo having a better performance in this map, at least with 17 and 20. Apex, after a strong showing on Overpass, now down at the bottom with a 12 and 20 showing there. Device, of course, at the very top with 24 kills, John Mages. They are looking very strong indeed. Always enjoy it when Device is popping off, especially on Vertigo. Absolute master of the map. We'll get into round number 28 here with a ZywOo Warp.
What he can do with it, especially considering the amount of prep, and Device has already displayed his affinity for taking these fights. Starts with a slow left crawl, has the close wall held with that tight line, and can pop the head off should he need to, but they bait and switch.
Yep,
that is so coordinated. That's hot.
Yeah, there's so many mind games going on towards that A ramp right now with these AWPers especially. So they just show him at the top of the skull there, just so his crosshairs. Just
Moving
like, okay,
up.
I'll have a look at that. I don't think you know I've seen you, but then of course the swing from beneath. It's all calculated. It's all by design, and we'll see a nice opening kill there for Vitality. They'll have a 5-on-4.
Oh, I love that we watched that from Device's POV though, because you can see that lust, bloodlust, tip of a head, quick adjust. And Apex completely covered by the guise of the scope. Here we go. More utility exchange. Now bullets as well. Apex onto Zipex. X gonna give it to you. 5 standing for Vitality in order to keep things level. Shox has mid control, but only for a second. Magisk relinquishes it. A single frag was all it took, and now Vitality looking a little bit more one-dimensional until RPK arrives on the scene and maintains mid.
He is towards middle, that's for sure. No one towards B at all here for Team Vitality. Dupree's going to take a bit of a gamble here and join his comrades towards the A side of the map. Molotov's being deployed now. RPK gets another frag. It's going to be a massive advantage for Vitality. They hightail it back towards the B side. Great call from Alex here. That should guarantee things. Apex can stay on this side of the map. That's usually his role regardless. If he gets 1 kill, call it done, and we will do. It's going to be 14-14. And remember, we've kind of run out of timeout, I think, on the Vitality side. I think Astralis potentially have 1 more remaining. So they will buy up. Money's not great. We've got Glaive down to 3,800, 4,000 for Zipex and Mages, so there is a buy there, but it's compromised to say the least. And this is how things open up. Remember, there was the bait at the back there. Device, it's Crosshair, flirting with the back boxes, and then Apex will punish with 2 opening. Massive frags there.
Retro Apex. 4 frags in that round, but the first 2, just glorious sequence of movements. Checking Scaff, swift into the ramp peak, and now these next decisions you make determine whether we see 3 or not. Vitality, they've got everything they could desire, but are they ready for this? Last time, ZywOo just slapped him with the scope through the smoke, and he does fire a bullet this time, not going to quite connect, but I think that's enough. I think ZywOo said it. There's 1 close, pushed up ramp, they don't want to contest it, and so we slow. Right down. And pull all that utility out of Astralis. That's a molly flash thrown already.
You can see Glaive is trying to back up Zipex any way he can here. He's in a really compromised position. I don't think he survives this one unless Glaive can save the day. He's up against the AWP now. ZywOo will have to take his scope away. He's in a lot of trouble here. Astralis have found a round out of nothing. It looked like they were absolutely done for there, but the flashbangs, the timing, somehow it all works out. The kills they choose are so precise at that point, leading only the AWP. All of a sudden, Zipex gets the advantage, but not for long. It's a 3-on-2.
Bombs on Shox. Little later to the party. RPK is going to try and take this site. He's only got a Molotov, no smoke for the cross on Jens, and Device is inflicting some damage, but taking some as well. All members of Astralis beneath 50 HP. A bullet will do.
I feel like Vitality have got this. It looks too good for them. Such low HP. An MP9 for Zipex as well. The Molotov deployed. That might even take a player down here.
It's passing! Okay!
Where was the damage? Oh my goodness. Well, a 2-on-2 now. No kits available, of course. This is a back and forth run to say the least. No bullets connecting there.
Volleys aren't hitting, bullets aren't hitting. I don't think they're just going to back away from this one. I think everyone's accepted. You know what? This round is not the one. Vitality quite the opposite, though. Bomb plant and RPK, a crucial frag onto Dupree. A little perhaps overextended for that kind of circumstance, but he catches that AWPer and takes the site.
Wow. It looked like Astralis had done more than enough there, but the round crumbles around them. In towards B. Vitality with their high HP there, meaning Astralis couldn't really challenge it on either plant. Great utility usage towards the end of the round. The Molotov really segregated them. They're going to have to save the AWP and the Creek, which is absolutely fine. They're going to play for overtime. It's a bitter pill to swallow, that's for sure. You don't want to be giving that sort of round away, but you've got to look at the bigger picture sometime, and this will be the final timeout now from Astralis. As we mentioned, they save a lot of heavy weaponry here. Vitality will obviously reinvest into the round as well as they coordinate their final push here. How can they close this map out and get a clean 16-14? They do not want to go to overtime here, but if there's a team to pull it off, Astralis might be the ones.
One round away from Vitality securing a third map. It's Nuke, for those of you wondering what we get to see, and this is the success. You said he pulled it from nowhere. That spray from Glaive, just enough to find the frag onto Alex, and then Zywoo, he felt the pressure of that MP9. This was the frag I was talking about, though. RPK's first catch onto Dupree gets him into the site. A second onto Zipex confirmed the round. But can they pick up the map? It's time. Round 30, overtime or Nuke. Those are your options, and they're going for the big BDA. I can't say that on broadcast. Going for some rather fast play straight towards the B site. Charging it.
Well, it's the UMP to strike first, and it's going to be the Krieg in tandem there. We are going to see the B bomb site open, though. Alex just makes his way towards it. Could be the double kill here, as he does so much damage. This could be the map in itself. They can't find any footing at all, but Mages through the smoke will strike back. Bomb to be planted, but HP so low on Zipex here as Device rotates in the AWP. Not an ideal weapon here.
They're all coming from the same direction. That Molotov looks fantastic. Oh, stick, and not deep enough. Would have kept two of them at bay, and now instead, pressure mounting. Zywoo's not ready for his flank. It's not being held. It's all onto Apex. So good, but not enough. Overtime. Astralis, they make it happen.
There was a slight gap there in this smoke. They had no idea they'd already passed the Molotov at that point. It's the MP9 threading the needle. Zipex can't believe his luck. He's found a Apex there. Low HP in front of him. Manages to take him down. That's the opening they required, and they've reset everything now. We're going to overtime. 16K, MR3. It'll be Astralis to remain on the CT side. If that was the push there, you could see Apex had, or Zywoo, I should say, had no idea he was going to be coming through, and Apex to go down in the end as well. I don't know how they pulled that one off, but they've done it. They've reset everything here, and now they get a nice, healthy buy going to the first round of overtime. A double AWP set up for Dupree and Device, just what you want to see. And we'll see what the response is from Vitality. Zywoo will pick up the sniper as well. Currently sat at 17 kills. I think that's been for a while now.
Yeah, perhaps taking somewhat of a slowdown. But our first round sees a very different duel. A fight in middle that Glaive has no issues winning. Didn't need his partner in crime behind him, Magisk. But Apex looking to entry and already gets the info on towards Zipex, and Molotov will swiftly follow. Pulls out the smoke into a more defensive stance for Astralis. Glaive in support, but rather far back. And already losing one of the many prongs of this defense. Device, however, makes it clear that there is more on short. Ooh. What? Magisk was ready for the boost of B from the T side, no less, and the first goes the way of the Great Danes.
Yeah, from way downtown, long-range spray from Mages there. Looks very, very crispy indeed, and that's going to be around confirmed for Astralis there. I like that from Glaive. Found his confidence now, knowing they've got the reset there. They finally got some heavy weaponry to work with, pushing towards middle, and that's where Shocks will be on the default there. Manages to take him down, of no utility deployed whatsoever. Just a nice change up there as we enter overtime. See, Shocks didn't see that coming at all. And Device holding strong once again at AWP. Fantastic on this map. Always seems to deliver as he gets 26 frag, but it's Mages at the top, the anchor of B with 27.
That aggression. First it was Glaive, now Dupree. He went for not only the peak, but the drop straight down. He had the teammate throw in the smoke to support him should he need to retreat, but not just yet. Instead, it's Zipex to go down. Apex continuing to find these first bloods. Missed shot from Dupree, catches him on the boost. The nade won't do too much, but never mind. Jeez Louise, I thought they'd back up into mid. The nade went deep. And so did Dupree, 58 and 52 respectively for the Vitality members, hit by that rather wise $300 investment. There's no way Apex can win this without some form of utility, but look at what remains. It is going to be in the hands of himself. Perhaps going to have to set them up. ZywOo from short, Norping presence, and Shox just dry peeks into it. That's the bomb. That's a whole lot of info, and Astralis now will spring to life. Utility, oh, not quite the flash he was hoping for. The second time's the charm.
Yeah, they've regained control now, stabilizing somewhat there. With the flashbang towards short, they've confirmed there's not at least 3 Ts ready to bellow in, so we're going to see a 4-4, but that damage from the grenade at the start of the round is still rings true as we come to the final commitment here for Vitality. They'll smoke towards short, flash up, they have to commit here with 25 seconds. There's no one towards the B side of the map. Mages, bit of an off angle here. Baited out though by RPK, shoulder peek. Lovely work, has given them some sort of access here, and Device might have to fall back with a boost.
Who said the veterans can't jiggle peek? And that's a shot from dupreeh. Apex, grey screen, no issue. Bomb not down, 8 seconds. ZywOo's trying to find it, but Device is in the smoke. He's in the deagle, tags him up. 4 seconds, I don't know if he's got time.
No, he doesn't.
He's going to have to back away. And that's the round. A good frag. ZywOo keeping it going, and it's all for nothing. 17 to Astralis. Back-to-back rounds on their defense in overtime.
Right down to the wire there once again. Astralis holds strong after losing the first pick, no less as well. It's Device that gets them right back into the round. Strong pick towards the A-ramp, takes matters into his own hands, gets himself on top of those boosted boxes here, and starts hitting absolutely everything with dupreeh. Fantastic work from the AWPs once again. The double orbs have found a lot of success today for Astralis, I have to say. On overpass is impressive. This is one of the few teams that never actually had a double orb setup. They never did. It was part of the meta for so long, and now dupreeh can bring this out. It's looking fantastic.
Does seem to have given him a new lease of life. ZywOo, however, does shut down the aforementioned AWP of Astralis, and with great success. 4 split evenly now across the map for Astralis. And Zipex takes the gamble play. You could see he even preemptively holding that smoke. He knows he's going to have to drop it immediately upon Molotov's arrival. There are 2 in play for Vitality at this point.
They've had plenty of opening picks that have slipped by the wayside, Vitality, over both maps. Vertigo especially. Apex, though, has been very successful in pretty much all of his campaigns, and once again he is. The Kree connects to the head, but will they make the same mistake as Astralis? This position was overlooked so many times before. It might happen again here. Not a double cool lineup, the X-ray a little bit misleading there, but Zipex does find one back. Surely goes down into the AWP, which he will. ZywOo just about catches him. Now it's down to Glaive. It's going to be a 4 versus 2. He's down to 50 points of health here, unable to inflict any real damage in the final round here. It's looking good for Vitality.
Yeah, he's just trying to hope for some random shot through the smoke to connect, and well, he brought Apex low. But ZywOo does find his third actually, from that sandbags position. We were praising dupreeh's AWP as he inspects it, but this one just for the style points.
Well, there we go. Final round, and indeed, just going to be looking to find a few kills, pad the stats. There's one, pretty much all he's ever going to get. So nice work for Vitality. Wasn't a clean sheet there from Astralis. Great opening picks from Apex, like consistently getting them as well. It has to be said. Towards our A side of the map, 20 kills to his name. Everyone's turning up. Like, this doesn't feel like there's any players on the server right now dropping off at all. It feels like everyone's kind of contributing and having their moments. This one from ZywOo especially. That's a big kill towards Zipex. If he misses that one, they're in a lot of trouble. He continues that momentum. His AWP's looking much sharper now, as we'll see him just find kill after kill. Extend his total as we'll move on now.
ZywOo waking up is going to be a very...
It was a couple of rounds ago he said he's on 17. He's now on what, 24?
Yeah. On the T side AWP, no less, where he finds that quad kill. But yes, if he's to wake up, and if we were to see 3, that's a very exciting prospect. Quiet on the first, and now definitely starting to find his voice in Vertigo. A 2-1 split, solid from Astralis on their defense, and they actually managed to pull both of those out with aggressive CT moves. Will Vitality take a similar page out of the book? It looks like the double AWPs that we've been having such a conversation about on one side are coming out on the other.
Well, here we go then. 1 round for series points. So all Astralis need is to confirm double overtime, and maybe even the series itself. HE's towards the top of the ramp here in terms of aggression. It's ZywOo. No open hand this time. He's got the M4. Trying to use the flames and smoke to do some damage initially, but nothing found just yet. So more of a default approach here. dupreeh watching for the B push. It's actually 3 players towards the B side of the map. We've got Shoxy towards the middle window.
It's funny that, you know, Counter-Strike, it's always changing, but the ramp smoke it didn't have a counter, now it does. It's the boost in the corner over the top of it, stops the CT peak from Scaff and Sandbags. And now what will be the counter to the boost? I mean, that's just the world of Counter-Strike, and now back and forth, 4v4. With 70 seconds on the clock, there's absolutely no rush for the Astralis squad, but 3 members make it 4, all find themselves gathering towards ramp very early into this one.
Oh, this is great. Zywoo has been
tucked
baited in real nicely here, and Astralis, twice already they've overlooked this position, it's costing them round. Will it happen again? I dare say it will.
Waits for it, and looking to strike. It's good damage, but it's not what he hoped for. Zipex down to 57, Glaive a little lighter. Huge shot, had to hit that one. And there's more where that came from. Alex knows there's more pressure. He can hear Glaive advancing, but this time the movement was too strong. Ends up wide, and that bomb could end up planted. Magisk is going to make sure of that.
2 versus 1. Great shot from Shoxy there. Magus, though, he hasn't missed many himself. Oh, he's done very well.
Ballsy.
He's done very well indeed to get in this position. They have no idea.
RPK coming from ramp, but Shox, he is none the wiser that there is a bit of a fly in the ointment. Never mind, quick reactions. And they save the day. Vitality fight on. 17-17, equalizing at our first overtime of our second map today.
It looked like Magus had done enough there. Like the fact he snuck by just as Shoxy was repositioning from heaven, but fantastic awareness from him, can't argue with that. Managing to get the defuse in there. You won't see many kits in overtime on the CT side. You won't see many helmets either, especially if you lose that first round. But regardless, they will hold up to an AK-47, the AWP. Alex, it's a very crucial shot there towards short. He missed a second, but luckily for him, Shoxy made up for it towards that upper ramp. So nice work from him. Just aware of the prospect of heaven and manages to take him out of the equation there. So we get into round number 5 for a couple to go. Who will be posting map point first, and in Astralis' case, series point.
Pressure mounting with every round. Still inseparable. It went 12-12, 13-12, and we continued, and now all the way locking horns at 17 apiece. Some shots towards the ladder room, not quite going to connect. Nobody home from Astralis, but those walls are made of paper. Does seem like Alex is the one that's been given the AWPing scaff responsibilities over Zywoo, and he's managed to go 1 for 1. Who that benefits? Many would say Astralis, but aggression this time. Mid-round, be aggression from the French. We've been talking about this a lot during regulation, but towards A is where the commitment comes, and Zywoo having no issue for the first. It's Device again, consistently lining him up, knocking him down. Shox does the same and traded. 2v2 as the bomb goes down.
This is so even right now. Everyone's hitting their shots. They're all playing very well off each other. It's coming right down to the wire.
Oh!
As Apex gets one through the smoke. It's leaving Dupree now in the 2v1 situation, but he has got the AWP. Misses the crucial shot there.
There he is.
Wants to drop the Molotov if possible here, just before the defuse comes in, but there is a smoke down for now. He needs to be very careful indeed, taking so much damage. His last chance is to get that Molotov on towards the bomb. It looks like the defuse is coming in already, but are they ready for this? A smoke down. That was his opportunity. Bomb to be defused. It's map point for Vitality. A great round though from both teams. It comes right down to the individual duels there, and it will be Vitality coming out on top.
Ooh, a chance to take us to a third. Vitality, 1 shot before Astralis take it back to another overtime. They did it once, they can do it again. Device, let's see his second one. I want to see it from his POV, just as Zywoo was tucking in.
Everyone's peeking right now. There's trading blows.
Fight.
Yeah, no one's missing many shots at all. It's really quite exciting. So we go for a double AWP setup here. Not for Zywoo, it's for Shox and Alex, no less. So we will see a change of setup here at map point. Will it be one that works out for him? Time will tell.
This really is requiring you to take those early fights. Should Astralis get access to the site, it is going to feel like almost all said and done. Going to have to keep them at arm's length. Closing in on 30 now. Device looking for that final frag. Completely often idolized fragging total. Admittedly, this time in overtime. Bullets through the wall. Nothing too much to write home about yet from the Astralis campaign towards A. We do see the Molotov trying to flush Zywoo into a more passive line. And then we're going to hit that once. Short does seem to be the main target of affection. Doesn't matter if Magisk is flash. He still holds down the button. And one boy does go down. A second as well. Magisk looks like he's done enough, but the flames from Alex trying to equalize, and he's managed to do it all. Double kill from Alex, and he gets away with the smoke.
It's enough. We'll see whether they can rotate back into position. That's a big shot that doesn't land here. There's an opportunity for Astralis to make their way toward the bomb site, especially the Molotov going down in such a strong position here. That should enable a plant. And now already flanks coming through. Apex still towards B. Bomb to go down, looking for double overtime here. Advantage Astralis, they have one Molotov remaining, no smoke on the CT side, and a double AWP to retake here. Remember, Shox is the one who chose to pick up the AWP here and the final round of overtime.
Looks like he's thrown it away. I think he's found an M4 somewhere, so that does give them a real shot. No smoke for this Molotov, though, and that's going to be problematic. They do have kits, they can wait it out, and they can start to frag in the meantime. One gone, Dupree's fallen, Zipex and Glaive left to take us to a second overtime. And Alex is already on the defuse, fakes it out as his teammate falls. Just onto Alex, he has to be the hero. He's hit another, on for the ace, clutch, but no time. And it looks like overtime has been completely secured. A very happy Zipex on the hunt, and we're going to a second.
We certainly are. There it is. It all comes right down to the wire once again, but we will see Astralis just about stick the landing there. It's going to be a scrappy finish, and Alex did absolutely everything he could there to hit those shots, deny them access toward the bomb site, but the final execution there just way too powerful. The Molotov at the back, and this is where the round really shifted. The blind kill from Mages there, taking down ZywOo, pushes the flames. He goes down to them in the end. Alex gets a couple there. The bomb goes down. It's the pistol to close things out. He does get the frag, but there wasn't quite enough time to even think about a defuse there as we drew the reset once again. As Astralis now starting on the T side, Device vaults through the smoke and flashes towards middle, and we're making his way towards the bomb site itself. Apex will go down in response.
It just feels like a different game now. We've got to overtime. Yep. Everyone's just holding W in pursuit of the W. Smoke's off the line that Shox was holding. Anticipating the boost. But for now, they freeze. They have the man advantage. The 60-second mark, some CT utility lands in middle. Will give Astralis the conversation. Then it will be relatively unguarded, but just a sound cue for now, nothing more.
Very different pace now.
Just as we felt like we'd cracked the overtime pace. Astralis presents something very different. Silence across the map. 30 seconds, and they haven't even taken ramp yet, Henry. Anti-flash and connects. Brilliant from Alex, and now backs away safely. This could spiral though, because Magisk has the flank. They were ready for this, or at least Alex is, with shots like that. A smoke as well, the hero that Vitality need. He's going aggressive! He kills the bomb carrier, but Magisk has got time to plan.
Another clutch opportunity for Magisk here. 2 versus 1, Krieg in hand. First shot absolutely connects it, but he didn't anticipate ZywOo to be there so quickly. Such a crucial round there, right down to a 1 versus 1. Once again, ZywOo versus Magisk. They're both playing incredibly well, and so is Alex, to be fair to him. 3 kills with the AWP once again on that A side. You can see why they give him that responsibility.
Yeah, he's obviously just had the conversation saying, guys, I actually feel really comfortable with this weapon on this site. That shot, straight raw aim, but he went aggressive onto Zipex. The presence of mind to throw this immediately, underhand the smoke, and go aggressive, hearing the steps on ramp, assuming that's the bomb carrier. He was trying to win the round right there, and then. 19 for Vitality. They take back the lead. It's time for the second round of our second overtime on the second map of the second day. There you go. That's enough seconds. And, well, 1 minute 45 on the clock.
1-0 down. Astralis will be focusing towards the A ramp once again. Molotov towards sandbags, but they need to remember that can be readdressed by the CTs. It's cost them a couple of rounds so far. It's been a long old map here and double overtime. Pace has changed back and forth. This time, a slower approach once again. Not much pushback from the CTs here towards A, but Alex, another brilliant shot though. Quick response from Magisk. The main protagonist towards this adventure towards A, time and time again. We'll see now if they want to fall back. It's going to cause a rotation for sure. I can't see maybe a boost coming in from ZywOo and Apex. They are both at the back boxes right now. Shox, he's done this many times before. The great flanks, but this time detected. 1 HP. Surely he can't survive. He knows that he's low. Device will have to spam that Deagle while blind. Shox is just praying for dear life here, hoping he can just stay in towards that ladder position. And RPK once again showing us how strong he is towards the B.
Did they forget what this man can do on B? They're coming back to the RPK domain. It's all on him. And double kill is all he finds. Bomb loose to be retrieved. And let's not forget that Shox was brought down to 1. It's ZywOo that has to do the heavy lifting. Bomb yet to be picked up, and now Doesn't look like it's on the back of Device, but not rushing this plant. Instead, looking to just investigate where these loose threads are. It was Shocks eliminated. That full health didn't last too long, or rather that short amount of health didn't last. And so 19-19, we trading rounds as always, it seems, here on Vertigo, Henry.
Absolutely. Astralis, great mid-round calls there, managing to get their way back in towards B. You did mention that RPK has been playing incredibly well, but the spacing is what eluded him this time. You can see they've just got too many players on top of each other. The Deagle comes out, the Device, and he will be shutting the round down with the Krieg to close things out there. 19-19 or 1-1 in double overtime here, and we will see Alex back on the AWP. Probably the strongest AWP showing I've seen from him ever, to be honest. I've seen him dabble with it a few times in double AWP setups, but he really is leading the charge here towards the A side of the map and looking very convincing indeed.
He certainly is, and a change up of pace from Astralis is going to catch him off guard, but it seems that ZywOo can't do enough. How does Device always hit it? Another one added to his tally. 32 for him, 35 for Magisk. They have just, between the two of them, been the angels of A on that T-side take. Multi-kills, just taking it in turns. Shox is going for the aggressive line. We saw Zipex thrive here on his turn, but the jiggle doesn't pay off. Great work from Shox, but at what cost? Down to 14, can't do much more, but his teammates can draw the crosshair in the right direction. Apex can punish, 2v2. And we are likely to see things slow, if not just for a moment. Dupree's crawling scaff. Where's his friend? Up towards the sandbags. And Apex, this seems a little audacious, but I think he lands the dink before he goes down. Doable.
RPK now. Alone in the 2-on-1, but the damage has been inflicted as Dupree and Device, known for their clutch ability, working in tandem together, and it yields yet another round there. Device, he closes things out, and you're right. The shot he's hitting so far, it don't even look possible. We're seeing it from his enemy's POV, and he somehow finds an inch, somehow gets the headshot every single time when his teammates look like they've been removed from the equation. This is the one I was talking about. ZywOo felt like he'd outpositioned him, outplayed him, but no. Device does it once again as Astralis take the lead 20-19. No timeouts available anymore. That doesn't reset, so we're just going to have to keep on trucking here as we'll find ourselves in a double AWP setup again. Dupree and Device this time once more. 5 mollies, 5 smokes. Should Vitality take their time about this one, they could get locked out. Aggressive warping from ZywOo, and if Glaive does challenge from Crane, that would be exactly how he punished, but you can see, oh, it's so rehearsed, all of that. Doesn't expose himself to any of the AWP lines. The pre-fire lands square in the jaw of Alex, one of the most influential players, down to 15. Yeah, that's great stuff from Glaive. He's actually landed the grenade towards ZywOo as well, so he's done a boatload of damage. He hasn't even seen anyone yet. Does he continue with it, though? Needs to be very careful. He gives him this kill for nothing. At least he's done damage on top of that, so it's a 1-for-1 trade, which has pretty much been every single situation in overtime so far. No one can get a convincing lead in terms of manpower. We haven't had many clutches, though. 1 versus 3 or anything like that. It's always 2-on-2 or 1-on-1s. Absolutely. Just keep trading back and forth. Advantage. Vitality could be taken away any minute now as a re-aggress from Zipex despite his low HP. Perhaps that's what inspired him to try and catch them with the element of surprise. Did so, and now Astralis closing in on the 21st. To change it, Shox, RPK, and Alex walking up the ramp, but Zipex wants to fight. Oh, the Molotov might be coming in, though. Alex lining it up. He's actually using it towards short instead. So they will have to check the sandbag position there. They know more than anyone it can be a powerful spot. Only one exposed is Alex. Perhaps conscious. He goes down, and now his team has to react, and you can see the smoke from Zipex anticipating a Molotov, but it's not going to avoid the nade. 2v3, 15 seconds. They really have to find a frag fast, and Astralis, you know they're not going to give it to them. Instead, on the cross, Device doesn't quite hit the shots he needed to, but Magisk seems to be doing everything else. Shots, just a chance to breathe, but it will be the end of it all. Astralis securing it with a nice defuse. 21 on the board, and Vitality running out of chances, running out of options. Yeah, they certainly are. Astralis now 1 round away from completing this. We'll see whether it's possible as we get into round number 5. They go for the double AWP setup once again. It's Magis who's doing a great job. I thought this was the opening point for Shox. If he missed that initial spray and he goes down, there's a real chance he could win that one. But here we are, 21-19. Astralis looking for the 2-0 as we see the AWP in the hands of ZywOo this time on the T side, just to note that. They need both these rounds. Vitality made their way towards A once again. Same smokes going down. It's been very interesting this side of the map. Zipex waits for the HE grenade, switches over to the incendiary. Wants to push them back here. Damage put towards Magus because he is the one to hold towards that A round this time.
Whoa, this is such a fantastic game of Vertigo. I feel like you could just go through all of this, watch every POV of both teams and learn something. Everyone's on their A game as well, just back and forth as you've described it.
Yeah, Vertigo for me, like, sure, it might not be the most compelling map in terms of Counter-Strike, but the kind of initiative we're seeing from these teams and these new ideas that are coming to the forefront at every single tournament, like, it's evolving. It's getting very interesting now. It's a very unique map. I think it's great to spectate.
Sound Q as well, down to 44. Very effective use of their nades, and it's more where that came from. You can see they're lining up the deeper one to force Magisk into the site even further. He's opting to play around that smoke while it still lingers. Zipex, no Molotov for short. It's only bullets and a flash. That's all he can throw down towards the hot spot. But great shots. Apex gone, and his teammate was just a little too far behind, leaping through the sky, still down. Great fragging from Magisk, just 2 frags away from Astralis doing it in 2. To change things is Shox. He does get the smoke down. Does he get the bomb down? To cover is RPK. 4 versus 2 to survive. He's missed his first shots, not the second, but likely traded from the sniper's roost. It's Dupree to connect.
And here he comes to close things out potentially. Shox in a 1 versus 3, not going to work out for him. And there we have it. It is going to be Astralis closing things out in a 2-0 manner. But that's going to be the game of the tournament so far for me. That was a great map and a great series as well. Vitality showed up. You can't say they didn't. Although Zywoo was quiet on the first map, they could have really used him there. Great performance from Astralis.